how to use your business to pay for a holiday. I know we want to know the best way to do this so that the taxman doesn't wonder what it is, and also so that we can make sure that we have the sales and everything to do that. So I'm kind of going to reverse engineer it and kind of show you exactly what I would do if I was planning on taking a holiday and I wanted my business to pay for it. Now, ultimately, of course I want my business to pay for it because my business is my only stream of income. My business might have multiple streams of income, but I only have one stream of income, and that is my business. So how can I use that in the most effective way to book a holiday? Now, I know that in the past episodes, I've been talking about how you can pay yourself consistently from your business. The kind of obvious route and maybe the slower route, depending on your take-home pay that your business can afford kind of sustainably, might be to save a portion of that paycheck towards a holiday. That's kind of like your standard. So much like if your 9-to-5 was paying you and then you're kind of using that money to pay your bills and kind of have some joyful spending, and also to be able to save things like a holiday. But there's another way of doing it. So I want to get into that today. First of all, I need to work out how much I need, because it all comes back to having a goal. I need to know exactly, roughly, how much this holiday is going to cost me. So let's say, do you know what, actually, I really want to go to Disneyland Paris for Jim's 4th birthday because he's a summer baby. So he will be going to nursery next September, and he will turn 4 literally like a month before. He's like right at the end of July. So it'd be nice to go away and do something. And I saw a TikTok last night that said, it was like talking about the like Cars hotel that they have. Well, for Jim. I'm, if anything, but an enabler. And he decided he liked the film Cars. I went all in. I am now a Cars collector. I am in the Facebook groups. I don't even care. I don't know who's more involved in the Cars obsession at this point. But anyway, I saw we can go and stay there. So I'm like, okay, let me have a look. Disney hotel. So I'm on the website. I'm literally walking you through how I'm going to plan this holiday. Now, it's being slow. It's like Disney hotels. I'm like, I literally want Santa Fe. That's it. Discover the hotel. This is the hotel that I need to stay at. Oh my goodness. Okay. Cars themed rooms. I'm literally like, Jenny, Jim's not even here. I'm more excited. Okay, this is cool. Okay, so how do I book a holiday? I've never booked a holiday for Disney. I've never been to Disney in my life, so I don't even know. So let's have a look. How many nights? Let's stay 4 days, 3 nights. There we go, 1 kid. Date of birth. I always forget the year. Right, apply. Okay. Let's have a look. We want September, October, November, December, January, February. Okay, we'll move. Okay, I can only book up until March for now. Let's just have a look anyway. Let's say if I was to book for March. Oh my lord, that is spenny. Okay, well, it's good to know. Good to know. I've got all this time to save up for. We're looking at like £1,000. Is that £1,000 a night? Wow. Oh no, that's the total price. Okay. Whew. I was worried there for a second. Hey, if we go in February, it's like £700. Guys. We're going to do like a half birthday. Maybe we do end of March, and actually it's Rob's and mine birthday is when we're going to go. I'm just doing this for sake of knowing what my budget is. So let's say my budget is £1,000 for the hotel. And then I'm going to want some travel. I'm going to say for everything included, to not have to really worry about anything, let's do £2,000 as like a goal. And I feel like that way, that's going to cover hotel, travel, insurance, food. I'm like, wow. So all the thing, like buying stuff while we're there. And hopefully that gives us a lot of wiggle room as well. What I wouldn't want to do is go too far the other way and be like, oh, well, the hotel says 1,000, and then so maybe I'll do like 1,500. You don't want to get there. And I know when I'm on holiday, I don't want to care about money. So I will always overestimate how much I need. Anyone who's been to Iceland, they know, it is so expensive, so incredibly expensive. A pint of beer costs £12. Just to put the context out there, if you think you're going to Iceland and you were a beer drinker, knock up knock up how much you're saving for it. Anyway, we're saving £2,000 for a holiday next summer to Disneyland. Okay, £2,000. Let's go for it. So I could go, do you know what? I'm going to save, let's say, £250 a month from my salary. And that's going to get me there in 8 months, which if we've got a year, that's fine. Obviously, I know I'll be booking things before then, but it kind of gives me that time to, okay, build some money up, spend it on, I don't know, booking the hotel, build some money up, spend it on travel, build some money up for when we're there, kind of thing. So that's good. That's doable, right? And with how much I'm looking to increase my income by, that's doable. The other option is if I wanted to keep my take-home salary the same, but I wanted my business to fund the holiday, this is how I do it. I would intentionally use my overflow. So the overflow is the amount of money in your business after tax, owner's pay, every other financial responsibility. So if we were to think about it as like a list, right? You've always got your revenue at the top, what has come into the business. Then you're minusing the business expenses, your subscriptions, your coach, your mentor, your ads budget, those kind of things. They're going to come under operating costs. That's going to give you your profit. And then from your profit, you're then saving money for tax. You are paying yourself. You might be contributing to a pension. You might be paying off some business debt. And you might also, hopefully you're then putting the rest of that overflow into a separate account. Now, if you get to that point and there is no overflow, that is telling you that either you're not making enough money to fund all the things you want your business to do, or your business is spending too much money. Either way, the outcome is there's either not enough profit or you're overspending on profit. So what I'm seeing quite a lot at the moment actually is that the business's profit is absolutely fine in terms of profit margin. Like the business is, it has a healthy profit margin, but then you're trying to take out too much money from the business in order to fund your life. Drips and drabs of money whenever you can afford to, you don't really notice the impact of that. You just know that maybe it always feels a bit tight, or you're always just kind of like waiting for the next invoice to land. When you know exactly how much, so when you know, okay, this is the profit that my business is making and this is how I'm using that, like I know what my take-home pay is, I know how much I need to be saving for tax, I know X, Y, Z, the amount you're left over is overflow, and we want to make sure that there is overflow in your business. Much like how you will have a revenue goal that ensures you have enough to put aside for maybe tax and a bit of profit. When you work with me, we make sure that your revenue goal is enough to pay yourself, pay your business, save for tax, and have a buffer for tax, have a buffer for profit. It's that buffer for profit that is essentially our overflow. Because what we're saying is, I want to have enough money so that my business can pay for itself, so it can cover its expenses, it can pay for the owner, it can pay for me, and it's going to cover its own tax within that as well. So you know exactly how much your business needs to make. Because you're literally saying, okay, the business is going to make X amount per month. Maybe 50% is expenses, another 50% is owner's pay. Immediately you're not left enough for tax, right? So then you might go, okay, I'm going to cut down my expenses to 40%, my owner's pay to 40%, and my tax is 20%, right? Now, I don't really like to work in percentages because your bills are not a percentage. They are set, but just to kind of think about how you might look to split that up. Either way, you've still not got any overflow. So everything that's coming into the business is being spent. Okay, if it's being saved for tax, it's still being spent, right? It is being spent on that goal. The goal is to pay your tax in full. So if we want our business to fund additional parts of our lives, we need to make sure that there is overflow, and we need to be building that into our revenue strategy, into our sales strategy. Basically, how we're making money and how much money we are making. We need to know that not only can it afford to pay us, not only can it self-sustain itself and pay its own taxes, it can also fund the additional things. And when you build up overflow, that is what you're then able to use in the low months where maybe you don't hit the sales goals, or maybe you just have a very cyclical business where maybe in the summer season you're really busy and then come winter there's, no one's really booking. That's really normal. It's so normal for business owners to have inconsistent income. Like that is the nature of business. So it's how we make sure that we have overflow built into it so that we can put that aside for those lower months. Now, the aim is to get to a point where you have those lower months covered, and everyone's safety number is going to be slightly different, right? I'm quite risk tolerant. I think I mentioned this before in the podcast. I'm quite happy with not a lot of overflow because I know that everything's covered. I know that I'm in a stage of growth. I know what I'm investing in. I am in my numbers. Like I know confidently the financial decisions that I am making. If you are someone that it would relieve a lot of pressure, a lot of stress just to know you had 1 month worth of expenses put aside, great. Aim for 1 month. You might be someone that wants 3 months, 6 months, okay? There's no set number. Your safety number is going to be different to you, and there's going to be lots of factors that come into that. It might be that you're a homeowner, and who knows, your boiler might break down. And obviously, yes, part of what I teach is that you are paying yourself a set consistent salary, and you can use that to save up an emergency fund, a breathing fund within your normal day-to-day life. But also think about what you need in your business to help you feel like your business is safe. There's no reason why we should be needing to close down businesses, to quit businesses, to go and get day jobs. Like, yes, of course, if you want to go and get a day job in order to kind of help with that transitionary period, absolutely. But you need to make sure you have a really strategic plan about how you're using the income. And the reason why you're having maybe to get a day job in the first place is because you haven't been strategically using your income. You've just been using it. So let's say you've got this overflow, you built up maybe it's like a month's worth of expenses, and you're kind of chill. After that, any overflow you build can be used towards different things, different goals. So I've got clients that are saving up to be able to pay off tax bills in full. So rather than just kind of paying here and there, they're like, do you know what? I'm just going to save up a lump sum because that feels really good to them. That feels like they've accomplished something. It feels really, really nice, as opposed to kind of overpaying a little bit here and there and not really seeing the difference. So that's one way. Another way is you can use that overflow to buy that holiday. So for me, if I now know, okay, I have a goal that is £2,000 and I kind of need to save that over the next year, I'm now going to go and plug that maybe into my numbers, especially if I know I want my business to fund it through overflow as opposed to my personal take-home pay is kind of already eaten up with other expenses. Yes, I'm going to go and plot those numbers into my cash flow tracker so that I know, okay, can I afford to do this? Can my business afford to do this? And how am I going to do this? So straight away, I should be able to see what is the overflow gap, okay? If I want this much overflow over the next couple of months in order to like put aside for this goal, that shows me the gap, okay? It might be that there isn't a gap. It might be that I can still do that and save and X, Y, Z. If I'm doing that and, I'm saving for goals in my business, I'm saving overflow in my business, and I've not increased my pay, it's probably telling me I can afford to increase my owner's pay, especially if there's consistently savings in the business. Obviously, again, like I said, safety is going to be completely different for everyone, but that's generally how I would decide to increase my income. But yeah, you can use the numbers. Once you have the goal and you know how you're going to fund it, if you know you're going to fund it for your owner's pay, you can go months until I need said money and how much I can afford to put aside for said money. Or I can do it the other way, which is, okay, my business is going to do this. How can I do that with the business? There's also another thing. So if you are a limited company, then you get something called trivial benefits. So this is in the UK. And trivial benefits are essentially where you can get out vouchers in your business to pay for like random things. Off the top of my head, I think it's like £300 a year, and you can do it over multiple different vouchers. So some clients might take like £25 a month, and you kind of like stack them up. If you knew you were going on holiday and you knew maybe there was a certain place you'd like to eat or shop, you could start stacking up those vouchers for that, and that is exempt from tax. So you do not have to pay tax on benefits for your employee, and you are an employee of your business if you're a limited company. If all of the following apply, it costs you £50 or less. So this is where you might do vouchers of £50 or less. It isn't cash or a cash voucher. This is an accountant question, basically, long short of it. It's not a reward for your work or performance, and it's not in the terms or contract. So that's kind of where it gets that name, that trivial benefit. Like, I'm just kind of giving this to you because I can afford to. Let me know if you have any questions on that and how you might use your business to pay for your holiday. Okay, but it also might just be me. It's like I am so into my child's obsessions now that actually he's grown out of the Bluey obsession. I still want to go and stay at the Bluey Hotel at CBeebies Land. Like, I want to go for me. So much of having this as a side note, so if you don't have a kid, feel free to tune off now. I feel like having a kid is so much of like healing your own inner child. Like, that's probably the biggest lesson I've had of becoming a mum, is actually you get joy out of these things as well. Like, you get joy out of the childish things, and so just allow yourself that. Like, I'm fully allowing myself to embrace this cars obsession because it makes me happy, it makes Jim happy, it makes my partner question his life choices, but at the end of the day we're all pretty much happy here. So yeah, book the holiday, do the fun things, and live your damn life. This is what it is all for. Your business is there to fund your dream lifestyle. And if it's that, do you know what, right now I can't sustainably pay myself more and save for it, but I can quite happily save the overflow in the high months and put aside this chunk for this goal, then do it that way, okay? There's no right or wrong. Let me know if you have any questions, and in the next episode I'm going to be talking about how you can actually calculate your overflow. So I'm going to be going deeper into that number and how we get that number and how we then make decisions from that number. So stay tuned.